Welcome to the Portable Classroom Max program. Modal verb section 1. Can and could. Today we're going to talk about how to use and when to use can and could, and the differences between these two modal verbs, can and could. First of all, we talked about modal verbs last time. We know that we use modal verbs with root verbs. Let me refresh your memory. What are root verbs? For example, go, went, past tense, verb past participle, gone. Which one of them is the root verb? Well, of course, it is go. It is the basic form of verbs, and that is what we call a root verb. So remember, we always use modal verbs like can, like the ones we're going to learn today, can and could, with root verbs. So first, let's talk about the forms of can and could. Affirmative. Affirmative just means yes. If you're not sure about the meaning, you can click the link and you would know the meaning of the word. Affirmative means yes. So you can say that I can do something, you can do something, he could do something. Interrogative means in questions. And now in all questions, we simply move be verbs or helping verbs to the front. In this case, we move the modal verb can or could to the front of a sentence. So we say, can I go? Can you go? Could he go? Like this. Negative means no. So when you say no, you have to add not into the sentence. And usually not is used with a be verb or a helping verb. In this case, with can and could. Cannot. Remember, we do not write them separately. We do not write like this. We do not say cannot. We do not write them separately. We write them together, not separately. This is okay, but this is not okay. So we write cannot, or we can use contraction. Can't. Could not. It's okay to write them separately. Or we can use the contraction. Couldn't. Alright? So you can say I cannot go, I can't go, or you could not go, you couldn't go. So this is the forms of can and could. Let's dig into details. How do we use can and could in sentences? Now first, we use can to explain the following situation. Number one, the ability or means to do something. So when I have the ability to do something, I use can. Like I can swim very fast. Not only I can swim, but I can swim very fast. That's my ability. I can swim fast. You can see that I use can with the root verb to talk about my ability. I can swim. What's ability in Chinese? Ability means 能力. The same, if you're not sure about the meaning or how to use this word, click the link. Now, I can swim fast. That's my ability. May can't, negative, run fast. So she doesn't have the ability to run fast. We can use can't, negative form of can, with the root verb to talk about something that May doesn't have what it takes to do. So May doesn't have the ability. So first of all, we can use can to talk about a person's ability. Look at the following two examples. Can Nell swim more than a mile? Stan can't find his way in the forest. Number two, we can use can in requests or offers. What does request means? Click the link. Request means this. 请求, 要求. When you want somebody to help you, you have to request that person to do something for you. Or you can offer something to a person. Offer means to give, but this is a much formal word. It means to give something to a person. So when you want to make a request or an offer, you can use can. For example, like this sentence is actually asking a person for help. Can you help Sue? It's a request. So you can use can in requests. Can I offer you and Pete something to eat? So you want to give them something to eat. When you want to offer them something, you can use can. Number three, being allowed to do something or asking somebody's permission to do something. So you can also use can to ask for permission. Permission means, can I do something? Is that okay to do it? 允许. That's permission in Chinese. Similar to may, but there's a slight difference between can and may. May is more polite. When you use may, probably because the person who you're speaking to is older than you or has more authority than you, then you use may, because it's more polite to use may. You can say, can I use your cell phone to call Raymond? So you want to ask for that person's permission. Is it okay that I use your phone? So you can say, can I use your phone? Or you can say, may I use your phone, to be more polite. Kathy's mom said to Tom, you can take my daughter to the prom. Okay, so there's no. It's no, okay? Number 4, you can use can for saying what is possible. Something that is possible, you can use can to express it. Now look at the first example. If the weather is good tomorrow, we can go camping with John. So if that is possible, if the weather is good, if something is possible in the future, maybe we can do this. So we can use can to talk about future possibility. Number 5, remember the form of can and cannot. We do not write cannot separately. Okay? Now we write cannot in formal English or in writing. We write like this. In speaking, we often use can't. Now let's look at could. First of all, we can use could to talk about ability as well. The only difference between can and could is that we use can to talk about something in the present. We use could for the past tense. So let's look at the following 2 examples. Greta can scuba dive, fix engines, read French, and make me laugh. It's about present ability. It's about Greta's ability, and she still has those ability now. She can do the following thing: scuba dive, fix engines, read French, and make me laugh. That's what she can do right now. That's her ability now. But look at this. Look at sentence number 2. Greta could scuba dive when she was 5. She can't do it right now, but she could do it. She could scuba dive when she was 5. So we use could as the past tense of can to talk about something that we could do in the past. So in this case, could functions as the past tense of can. Now number 2, we can use could to make an request, offer, etc. Like could may also be used in polite communication in place of can. So remember, when we want to ask somebody to do something for us, or we want to ask for permission, we can use can to talk about it, or we can use may. But using may is more polite than using can. Now, do you have another choice now? You can use could. And could also is used in polite communication. Communication means talk to somebody in place of can. In formal situation, I often use could you. In this sense, both can and could be used in present or future tense. Now, so this number 2 could no longer functions as the past tense of can. They're actually the same. We can use can, we can use may, we can use could to make a request or an offer. But when we use may or could, it's because we want to be polite. So look at sentence number 1. Louis, can't you pass me the butter, please? Of course, I can say, could you pass me the butter, to be more polite. It's actually the same. It's not about present or past. Snow White, can you go out for dinner with me tonight? You can also say, may you go out for dinner with me tonight? It's more polite. Dr. K, Hammer, could you please explain the rules to us again? Because you're addressing a doctor. You're talking to a doctor, so you want to be more polite. That's why you choose could rather than can. Sentence number 4. Joe, could you please come to my office tomorrow? You want to be more polite, so you choose could instead of can. Let's look at number 3. We can use could to ask for permission. In present or future tense, we can use could we to ask for permission when we are talking to a stranger, older people, teacher, bosses. In very formal situation, we often use may I to ask if something is okay. Kind of like the first one. First one is for request and offer. This one is asking yes or no, can I do that or can I do that? Again, you can use could for that. You can also use may for that. Now, using could and may is more polite, but may is even more polite than could. So it's more like this. In terms of being polite, can, could, may. If you want to be very polite, in a very formal situation, you would choose may. When you're asking someone, is it okay to do something? Okay? So all three words can be used to ask for permission. So you can say, can I do this? Or more formal, could I do this? Very formal, may I do this? Okay? Now number 4, you can use could to give permission in present or future tense to say that it is okay or isn't okay to do things. We use can, can't, but not could, couldn't. In very formal situation, you often use you may or you may not to say that something isn't okay. So when you give permission, like your kid ask you this question, could I go out to play with my friends after I finish my homework? So the person is actually using could to ask for permission because you are his or her father or mother. He or she is trying to be polite. So they use could to ask you the question, could I go out with my friends after I finish my homework? When you give permission, when you answer that question, we do not use can or could. Or we do not use could or couldn't. We use can or can't to answer that question. But in very formal situations, we often use may or may not. So when you answer this, it's not okay to use could anymore. We use can or may, but only that we use may in the very formal situation. May or you may not do something. So in that case that I just told you, could I go out with my friends after I finish my homework? As the parent, you can say, yes you can, or no you cannot. Or in a very formal situation, like you're talking to your in a very formal situation, not in that situation, you can say yes you may or you may not. Maybe you're talking to someone during a conference or in a very fancy restaurant, you may say may or may not. Alright, next section 2, could with have and verb pp. Verb pp refers to verb past participle. What is verb past participle? Look at the example over here. We know that go is the root verb, went is the past tense of go, and gone is the past participle of go. We use past participle in many different ways. Mainly we use past participle with have in present perfect tense, past perfect tense, or future perfect tense. So we use past participle in perfect tenses. Now here we use could with, you can see that the structure of perfect tense, could have done something. What does it mean? It is used for referring. What does referring means? What it means, this 指出, 点出, that's referring. To talk about is what it means. It is used for referring to something in the past that was not real. So it's in the past, but it was not real, or something that may possibly have been real. So anyway, it is not real. It was not real. It was never real. Look at the example and you will get more idea about how this actually works in sentences. Example number 1. I could have been killed with Vincent in that accident. But the fact was, I was not killed in that accident. I was still alive. So I could have been killed. It's possible that I could have been killed. But I didn't. I'm okay. Example number 2. Joyce could have been married to Wed if she had made a different choice. But the fact was, Joyce wasn't married to Wed. She was married to someone else. So you can use could have with the verb past participle to talk about something in the past that could have been different. that was not real, or something that may possibly have been real, but it was not real. Alright? Like, I could have given you the money, but I didn't. You needed money. You told me yesterday I could have given you the money, but I didn't. So talk about something that you could have done in the past, but you didn't. Thank you for watching this. Now remember to review and look at the lesson plan as to how to use can and could, and practice with the worksheets below. For more information about the modal verbs or other grammar points, please visit the website www.theportableclassroom.blogspot.tw and look for the web page that titled Max Program, and you will find a list of grammar points, all the grammar stuff that you need about English language. Thank you for your patience.